evening, good morning, good afternoon to you viewers at home. Welcome to RSN Raw Sports News, where we bring you the up-to-date Raj League football news. With me, as always, is my trusty companion, Alonzo Evening. My name is Chip Rosenbaum. Tell them what we got, Zoe.
RSN!
Last week, the RFL held its first annual trophy presentation for both the champion and the loser.
Immediately following the award ceremony, RFL held its second draft, and boy was it amazing. Looks like here, Chip, you got lit up. Actually, according to Yahoo, got the best draft report card of the night. What do you think about that? What are your thoughts?
Well, that's true, Alonzo, but let's not forget, you got lit up last year, went by another team name that nobody really gives a shit about, but the point is, I think he had a pretty great draft last year, too. And, you know what? He didn't make the playoffs, so it's not all grades, kids. It's not all grades.
That is true, Chip. That is true. Actually, owner Arthur Artunians wasn't available for questioning to discuss certain aspects of his team, and hopefully we'll get that interview here shortly.
Soon enough. Our correspondents are out there on the street, camping out in front of his house. We'll have some answers for you soon, folks. Too soon, folks.
And some draft choices worth mentioning is one who finished with a B+ rating. You got lit up. According to Yahoo, You Got Lit Up and Arthur Artunian's team finished with the best draft of the night. Yahoo states that at the time spent doing fantasy football research, instead of actual work, wasn't a waste of time at all. You Got Lit Up is projected to finish first place in Raj Football League with a record of 10-3. Can you believe that, Chip?
Well, it's very believable because that's what you expect to get with the first pick, I think. That's what you aim for, and that's the goal. You want to get the good powers, you want to get the good little Hazuki in there, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Let's not also forget that last year, Arthur Artunian's team, back then known as the $5 Footlong, finished also with the best best draft pick, but sadly finished second to last.
Second to last. That means he didn't make the playoffs, nor did he make them.
He wasn't even bad enough to get a trophy.
Well, I also think we should talk a bit more about Dillon Panthers, who, drafted 4 running backs in a row from rounds 3 to 6. Now, Alonzo, is this
4 running backs!
strategy or stupidity?
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both, huh? Explain.
Well, if we're going to look at Dillon Panthers, we're going to look at one thing alone. One is that he went 4 running backs in a row. Two of those running backs on the same team. 3, 2 of those running backs on the same team.
And 4, 2 of those running backs play for the same organization.
So, final verdict? Also, we should be talking about Men on Fire, last year's champions. I know they're going to be looking to get back to the championship game. And it says here, according to Yahoo, David Conifar, the owner of Men on Fire, had a fairly decent draft, but they're projecting him at 3-10 this year. It's not something you want to see from your defending champions.
Definitely not, Alonzo, but remember last year, Men on Fire almost did not even make the playoffs. He was on a losing streak, and he ended up coming back, and with a little bit of luck, was able to take out the league leader, which would go by the name of Dear Lord Baby Jesus, with his 11-2 record.
Dear Lord Baby Jesus. I remember that team. They weren't that great.
They were pretty great. They were the best.
Not that great.
They were the best.
Going on to other teams from last year, Silky Johnson finished with a 8-5 record in second place last year. I know they're going to be wanting to get to the top. Unfortunately, Yahoo projected them at a 4-9 record, and it looks like they're pretty much telling them to go into the backyard and shoot himself in the face because he's not winning this year.
I think that's really a good option for this team.
I don't think it's that good of an option. But we'll see.
We will.
We will.
Shotgun.
Injury and suspension report. Report.
Now it's time we talk about the NFL injuries and suspensions that might affect team owners going into the season.
That's right, Chip. We're looking at a 1-year suspension for Josh Gordon, who was actually picked up in the 12th round by Bristol Pistols. He's going to have to think about changing that one up a little bit. And also, unfortunately, in the second preseason game of the NFL season, starting quarterback for the St. Louis Rams, Sam Bradford, retore his ACL. Shitty luck.
Definitely some shitty luck, and you know what might affect owners of other players on that team. I know the Tavon Austin is probably going to get dropped by a certain team owner very soon.
Tavon Austin.
Later.
Yeah, Tavon Austin, unfortunately, looks like Tavon Austin was actually picked up by Draft Punk. William Stefani has to kind of rethink that one. Oh, but look at this. Looks like Silky Johnson is going to be looking pretty because he picked up Zach Stacy in the second round. You know that team's going to be running the ball a lot.
They run a lot of balls with a name like Stacy.
Chip, you old Chip.
Off the old dick.
Now, Chip, let's go into Week 1 matchups. We're looking at Silky Johnson versus Dillon Panthers. Last year's actually opening game was also with Silky Johnson, Dillon Panthers. I know that was going to be a doozy.
Not to mention a rematch of last year's semifinal playoff match where
that is true.
Silky Johnson, formerly known as Fuckers, defeated Dillon Panthers to go to the Roswell Championship.
That is true, Chip. Silky Johnson did beat the Dillon Panthers last year in the semi-playoff games, and by God, that was an exciting game. Came down to the wire and a goddamn kicker. Swear to God, I shit you not, a kicker. All right, let's go into another matchup. Last year's second to last place and last place players are playing each other, and you got lit up in RG3000. That's going to be an exciting one as well because both these teams I know are trying to get back to the top. And, well, they weren't really at the top in the beginning, but you know.
And we do know RG3000 does want to defend that Bobber Trophy at all costs, and it starts right here with this Week 1 matchup.
That is true. And we're looking at Men on Fire, last year's defending champions, going against new team owner and Laws of Motion.
Oh, this is one of our expansion teams,
yeah,
ladies
the
and gentlemen.
expansion team.
Laws of Motion.
Laws of Motion.
Coming in.
Motion laws.
Motion
They're going to
laws
be, that's
in a legal sense.
Yes, legally and physically.
Legally, Men on Fire can't beat Laws of Motion. Do I have that right?
I mean, let's think about this for a second. Men on Fire, Laws of Motion. There's 3 words in each team name.
I tell you, if it comes down to one of them on the back of the bus, and I want to call that number, it's going to Laws of Motion.
It's going to be a short bus, I'll tell you that.
It's going to be a shorty.
And then, oh, well, let's look at this. Draft Punk versus My Brother Numpsy. My Brother Numpsy is a newcomer to this league. Honestly, his owner's been criticized because apparently he doesn't know much about football, just kind of joined, bought a team because he had some cash laying around. You know how these rich people are nowadays. Like, I'm just going to buy a team. My name is, whatever, I don't even know the guy's name.
Hold up there, horse. I agree with you on that one. But you got to, again, look at Men on Fire. Coming in with literally zero knowledge of football, and, well, we all know how that turned out. Right?
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
It did. So whoever sticked around to the very end know how that came out. Now, let's go into Draft Punk. You know, Draft Punk finished last year with the best record, but unfortunately, the best record don't mean anything when you ain't taking home a trophy. You know what I'm saying?
That's very true. Luck does have a lot more to do with the league than one might think.
Yeah, some say actually that the owner of the team kind of got criticized for, you know, giving up towards the end.
Our 5th and final matchup of the week hits last year's early playoff exit, Let's Be Friends, formerly Levy Schwartz, against our second expansion team, Bristol Pistols. And when I say expansion team, I mean expansion team.
That is true, Chip. Bristol Pistols came out of nowhere, and they're pistols blazing. So let's see how this matchup goes. That's a tight one, too, with projected points. But I don't know. I think it's going to be an exciting match. I know I'm excited. Are you excited?
I'm excited, too. You know what? I'm going to go out on not too long a limb here and just say Bristol Pistols comes into the league with an introductory win, 1-0 to start it off.
I agree as well. I don't think Let's Be Friends is going to be having any friends by the end of this season.
Yeah, he's not making any friends today or ever.
Or ever.
Never.
That guy sucks.
Fuck him. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our very first episode of RSN. This is Chip Rosenbaum signing off.
I'm Alonzo Evening, and thanks for joining RSN, where we give you AIDS.
Welcome Welcome to RSN 2014, Raw Sports News, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, once a week actually. But I'm here. My name is Chip Rosenbaum with the bombs and my co-host, Senor Alonzo Evening. Introduce yourself, Zoe.
Alonzo Morning. Wait, evening. Guys.
This past Friday, the 13 Raj Bowl Trophy.
Don't get edited. Just keep going.
Can't. Action.
Alright, let's do this again.
Action.
Is it you or me?
Action.
Well, viewers, that concludes our Week 1 analysis. I'm just kidding. That's RSN Raw Sports News. Armin.
Action.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our premiere episode of RSN Raw Sports News.
Tune in next week for Week 1 analysis. RSN
Where
will give you AIDS.
Yeah.
We'll do that again.